What's good, B-Towns? It's your boy, Kit Raid, and today on the Bodyweight Toolbox, we're going to have a look at the value of plyometrics, which I guess we should first define. Plyometrics are basically any exercise done explosively, so box jumps, clapping push-ups, that sort of thing. I'm personally a big fan of plyometrics because I have a desire to be as capable as possible. I don't just want to be a gorgeous slab of meat, I do want that, but not just that. I want to be able to move a lot of weight, but I also want to be able to run fast, strike hard, jump high, and do cool tricks. But if you're just looking to get as massive as possible using just your body weights, is plyometrics something that you should invest time in? I think yes. Training plyos is going to increase your rate of force development, which can help you grind out that extra rep when you're buried in a dead hang, for example. The ability to tap into that explosive power is going to help you break out of straight arms. You get a few more reps. Well, if you get a few more reps, you get a few more gains. And possibly even more important than that, plyometric training has been shown to improve the elasticity of your tendons, which means you're much less likely to damage them. So in that way, training plyos can help you avoid injury if you do it sensibly. Skeletal muscle has a great supply of blood and nutrients. It grows pretty fast. Tendons, not so. So if there's a way that you can train that still makes you gains, but also helps keep your tendons happy, that's worth doing, right? You want to build muscle, that takes time and consistency, and an injury will take you out of that game. Also, man, it's just fun. It's just upsetting. If you haven't messed about with pliers in a while, give it a go. Try this here, minimal volume leg workout, finishing with some plyos, and I promise you, you will feel all kinds of wrecked, like unreasonably wrecked for the amount of volume that you did. There's a lot of discussion on how best to train plyos if you're trying to maximize your high jump or whatever. Generally, they say very short sets, like 10 seconds short, and then long several minutes rest. The idea being that a max set requires a lot of effort and you need a long rest to recover to have enough maximum effort available for the next set. Practically though, it's been shown that there's no difference between 30, 60 and 90 seconds rest. So I would suggest implementing them in one of these three ways or all of these three ways. A very short sub 10-second heavy set. This series is focused on bodyweight training. So when I say heavy, I mean more weight than that muscle is used to moving. So you got two legs, one of them's used to moving 50%. So a heavy set would be, say, an 80-20 jump squat, as in 80%, or a plyometric pistol squat, which is 100%. So a couple of those, several minutes rest, repeat. That's like classic training. Or I like a 30-second set of something non-plyometric, like a double bottom squat, just to fire up those muscles, with a 10-second finisher of something plyometric, so a frogger, and then 40 seconds rest before doing it again or doing a variation. Thirdly, as in the workout I suggested trying earlier, just grind your way through a set of too many froggers or too many iron mics. This will absolutely suck. It will be a mental battle and your ability to exert maximum force will wane. But you'll be forcing your body to recruit those last-ditch type 2X muscle fibers and call upon this explosive power when you're already knackered. This is going to put you in very good stead for, the zombie apocalypse or fighting gorillas or whatever. Now it's a little bit technical and you probably don't even care what I'm going to tell you anyway. You have three types of skeletal muscle fibers. Type 1, slow twitch, which are low power, high endurance. So they're for moving around generally, walking, jogging, cycling, endurance stuff. Type 2A, which are more power, less endurance. That's what you're building when you resistance train. And type 2X, which is even more power, even less endurance. Your body recruits those muscle fibers in order. So if you ask it to do something, it goes, will the type 1s do it? No? Send in the 2As. Has that done it? No. Send in the 2Xs. And it does this to conserve energy. It doesn't want to be using a muscle fiber with a very short amount of endurance when you're just picking up your coffee mug, because then it's not available when it's needed. It needs time to recover. Slogging your way through these kind of sets can trigger some of these 2X fibers to become 2A fibers, which is actually a great thing. Those 2X fibers, as I said, are only going to help you in the direst of needs and for a very short amount of time. If you can turn them into 2A fibers, well, now they're more available for general use. Gains. It's also worth mentioning that a common analogy of how muscles work is like a rubber band. You stretch it and it has stored potential energy, you release it, hiya. That idea leads a lot of people to pause at the bottom of their plyometrics, like they're wound up and they're ready to go. That idea is wrong. If you lob something and you wind it up, you don't wind up, pause, and then chuck, because then the wind up has done nothing. What's actually happening inside your muscles is a little complicated, but it works more like a run up. So it's the stretch shortening cycle, not the stretch shortening cycle. This drop in the squat is a run up to this jump. If I pause at the bottom, I've lost that momentum. I don't have stored potential energy. If I let go down here, I'm not gonna spring back up wildly as if I'm one of them snakes in a can. I'm gonna fall over. So in order to get the most out of your plyometrics, if you're gonna rest before the wind up and not in the hole. We talked a lot about squatting because jump training is sort of where this whole thing came from, but you can apply this to whatever you like. There are all sorts of clapping push-ups, plyometric dips, pull-ups, Aztec push-ups. Core-wise, it's only intent that changes your regular V-sit into a plyometric V-sit. And this one's free, bit kooky, but grab a medicine ball between your feet, hang from a bar and try and chuck it into your lap. It's not fun, it's not easy, I'm just giving you options. Well, I hope I've persuaded you to give plyos a go. That's another tool in the toolbox. If you're enjoying this series, if you find this useful, drop us a like, do us a comment. All that stuff really does help me out and I would genuinely be very grateful. But whatever you do, get them gains. Be well.